Welcome back to the Mail-In Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Merriman. To my right, it is not Sally DeFries. It is not Dylan Shivery. It's not Dave Ruff even. Or Will DeFries for that matter. But we have a very special guest. You may know him by producer Randy. I know him as Randy Trembacki. Good morning, Randy. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome back to Randy and Brett Lunchtime Radio.
Wow. Little R&B Lunchtime Radio
That's
throwback for the really dedicated
the
listeners.
true fans, the true patrons of Wash Media from way back in the day.
Great show. One of my
Great
favorite
day.
shows of all time, actually.
People say it was the best thing Wash Media ever did, and I agree with them.
Wow. The only thing we couldn't, our problem was we were using very much copyrighted music.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't.
We're basically just playing songs on Spotify in between our breaks.
Oh, what a time.
What a concept that was. We just did a live radio show. We had people call in too.
We did. We actually had a listener be like, hey, like, I work for a radio station. Like, if you guys want to do more of this, like, let me know. I could tell you the avenues how to get this off the ground. But no, it was just some more fun thing that Brett and I were doing.
A fun Patreon thing, Randy. What's going on in your world? You are now a softball player. Is that your first slow pitch softball league you've played in?
Softball player, mead maker, plant dad. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you've taken up a lot of hobbies lately. I want to get to the bottom of.
It's just that I'm grotesquely single, so I have a lot of time on my hands.
A lot of time on your. How did you get? Why mead making? You're famously not a beer guy.
No, not a beer guy, not a wine guy either, too.
Right. So you look to either extremely sugary cocktails, or mead.
Yes, I just tried mead one day. I was like, because mead is it's like one of the oldest drinks, and it's all about like Vikings drank it and all the old timey stuff. So it kind of has like a nerdy history aspect to it.
And you do have sort of that nerdy history streak in that middle age, like you enjoy that stuff.
Fantasy, like when I went to the Renaissance Fair, they had like mead on tap. Like that was like
I see.
the drink to have. Like you can do everything else that they had, but like the mead was the thing to have. So it was pretty. I was already inclined to that, and then I was like, I'm going to try it someday, and I did. And the first one I had was amazing. And then I just the reason I started getting into it was we actually talked about this yesterday in exactly 5 minutes. Was I just got getting served TikToks of people making their own mead and brewing. So and like how easy it was. I'm like, oh, this is a hobby I can get into, and now I am. It's very fun. But yes, this is my first adult slow pitch softball league.
Are you familiar with the leagues in Chicago that play with no gloves?
No.
It's crazy. It's like it's 16-inch or something like that. They don't play with gloves. The ball is much larger.
Oh, so it's like dodgeball, but like with a bat.
Yeah, you're not trying to hit people.
Kickball.
Yeah, it's more like a kickball kind of vibe. For those of obviously I know what mead is 100%. I know the recipe and everything.
You want me to tell folks at home?
Right, for the folks at home.
I'm sure I'm playing enough. It's just honey wine.
Honey, so it's fermented honey.
So it's fermented water. Honey. It's like yeast, water, and honey. That's about it. And then you can add fruits and stuff in there. So it's pretty much grapes are to wine as honey is to mead.
And how has the mead turned out?
The first batch was good, a little dry, but
okay.
I prefer a little sweeter. But that's because after it's done fermenting, you're supposed to add more honey in with some potassium sulfate, I think is what it is, to make it like sweeter and stuff.
Interesting.
So I'm going to do that in this strawberry batch.
Oh, a little strawberry mead.
I was, I'll just read them off again because I have a bunch of strawberry was going to be I feel like the easiest one to do next. These are the ones I want to do. Peanut butter banana, Arnold Palmer, which I've had one in Chicago before. It's really good. Skyrim, apples and cinnamon, peach, spicy, vanilla, and pina colada.
Are all separate flavors.
Yes.
That you want to do.
I want to try.
Okay, I'm in. As long as you try it first, because
as long as I don't get sick from it.
Notoriously, there is you got to be careful making your own alcohol because you can make poison.
That's more for like distilling stuff. Yeah, yes. Fermenting is a lot easier. It's just pretty much just sanitize all your equipment and you should be good.
I got the strawberry wine going. Shouts to Deanna Carter.
If Sally was here, she would be singing that song.
Strawberry. Yeah. Your other hobby, which I believe you're right. You have many. You're a man of many talents, Randy, both at work and at home.
Some say too many.
is you've become a plant dad,
Yes.
which I
Uh-huh.
believe, like, did you always like let's track your journey into becoming a plant dad. For those of you that don't know Randy out there, did it start with a brand deal that we were doing, or did you always want to be a plant dad? And was the space that you have at your apartment
It
sort of
started with a brand deal that we did at the time when I was about to take the journey. I, like,
okay?
looked around our place and I was like, "Man, we need some more life in here." I'm like, "We should get some houseplants or something
Okay.
like that." And then, like, as I was thinking that, I think a week later, a sponsor later in this episode,
hmm
came on board, and I was, like, "Okay, yeah, you know what? I was thinking about it, and, this is the universe pointing to me like, 'Hey, it's time to take your steps in fatherhood.'" And there it was.
what was your first plant, and why did it like it? You got like two plants, and then it exploded.
Yeah, yeah, because I just decided, like, I wanted to have flower boxes and all this other stuff. So the first one was, I mean, it was from fastgrowingtrees.com, which you get
Right.
into, some type of palm, a money tree, and something else
Okay.
because we got a good deal. So I can't remember what the other one is, smaller plant. And I was like, you know what? I've been talking about this balcony, getting flowers out there, going to go to Home Depot. And then I spent way too much money. And here we are.
It has now become a very expensive hobby, correct?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm done.
You're
The
done.
only thing that I'm getting from now on is just watering them. That's all I'm gonna
Really?
pay for. For right now, I've spent way too much money. I don't need to get any more plants. I have a
Famous
big enough
last words
family as it
there.
is.
Uh, so you have to like you. How many plants do you have now? How many flowering bushes and all that?
Well, the flowers are all their own separate plants, I guess. But I have 2 flower boxes, a pot of daisies. I have 4 succulents, which I mean,
Wow.
well, 3 of them are in one pot. So and then I have the money, so I guess 4, then I got the money tree, palm, and I got some photos, I think they're called. They're gonna start cascading down behind my TV, and they're gonna look dope. And
Wow.
then 2 other ones that are, like, smaller house plants that are like,
Don't you have peppers too, right?
oh, yeah, and then I have the jalapeno pepper, so that's, yeah, like 8 plants, something like that.
And you're what's the equation you have mapped out in your
Octomom.
head?
What do you mean?
You can pay for your investment.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If the amount of jalapenos I need to grow to make it worth my while of not buying jalapenos is somewhere between the 130 to 180 range of peppers.
Randy has to grow 150 or so peppers to pay off his investment. Which how many peppers are on a plant at any given time?
Just, like 4 or 5.
Okay, so we can get there.
Yeah. But,
We
like,
can
right
get
now,
there.
I don't have, like, 3 on there. And here's the thing too, I don't even eat jalapenos that much.
They're just for marks.
I
They're for
I
like
I
a
har
garnish.
I harvested 5 of them, and they're still in my fridge. I'm waiting to make jalapeno pepper poppers, so.
Can't
Oh,
go wrong with
actually,
some jalapeno
that's a
poppers,
great
right?
idea. I completely forgot to pick up cream cheese last time I was at the store, so let's add that to the shopping list. Alright. This is the mail-in, if you're wondering.
Yeah, we are the mail-in podcast where we talk about Randy's hobbies for the first part of the episode. Please subscribe on iTunes, follow on Spotify, hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That is 888-362-6245, or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail In Podcast. Hit up the store, washmedia.shop, and hit up the youtube.com/mailinpodcast to check us out in 4K, as Randy is so
Nope.
graciously.
HD, 1080. It's not 4K.
It's 4K.
He
It's
says
4K.
that every single time, and I have to sit there and bite my tongue. It's not 4K,
It could
folks.
be 8K if you have enough pixels. The new Apple eye things, VR,
Yeah, the goggles.
so many pixels you can't see them. I think that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Technology, man.
Ahoy, mail-in gang! I'm lost at sea and need some help.
Pause.
Yeah.
When I read this in the rundown, I thought this was going to be a bit about the submarine the whole time.
It is not a
It is
bit.
not,
This question came in prior to a certain submarine being lost. Hope they're all okay. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I started a new career a year ago, leaving the teaching field for the recruitment/marketing world. I like the job. My coworkers are stellar people and colleagues, and I feel right at home doing what I'm doing. I want to go the distance with this job. It's just a Hercules, and have big goals here. My problem lies in my lack of a mentor. My direct supervisor is too preoccupied with operations and revenue to dedicate time for one-on-ones. We meet sporadically, and it's usually focused on what I'm doing versus what what I'm not doing, like critical and criticism, versus what I am doing to improve. I'm a one-person department, and my predecessor got launched into the sun 18 months ago. I presume that just means fired, not
I was wondering about that too.
literally launched into the
Well,
sun.
I also thought it meant like they could have been a very good extreme promotion too. I didn't know, but regardless, they're not around anymore.
And probably not in the fiery pits of the sun. Uh, so there's no one that can give me concrete or time-tested advice. I'm very open to feedback and take direction. Well, my problem is that without a firm direction, I'm starting to feel disillusioned. I know that I'm a work in progress as a second career person, but I feel good about my effort and willingness to improve. How can I manifest my own intrinsic motivation? I know I can't depend on a mentor for guidance, but I need to change something before I burn myself out. Any advice would go a long way. Randy, we are both employees of Wash Media without, we have people we answer to and report to,
Mm-hmm.
but neither of the three of them are in our field per se. So we don't necessarily have an in-company mentor. How do you find yourself intrinsically motivating yourself or maybe goal seeking or becoming a better production person, video person, etc., without sort of that direct mentor? And have you really had a mentor?
Not really. No, I mean, I've learned a lot through internships and other stuff, but that was like more just learning on the job. I guess part of my field and in recruiting too, I guess, I don't know. You might just have to like rely on your mentors being your peers and like learning from there and like kind of like up and down, like
Managing
moving that,
up and
learning
managing
laterally
down, yeah.
instead of like looking up to someone too. Like that's like Dan and like J Bone and I, like we're all pretty much kind of doing the same thing. We all constantly talk about like new equipment and new like stuff going on there, and like none of them are like above me or below me. It was just so I guess things like that. I mean, Reddit and like other forums and type stuff that are in your career that don't go to post grad
Post-grad
problems
problems,
Reddit,
yeah,
because
yeah,
if
yeah.
you ask for advice there, you're just gonna get a bunch of wash bits. But
Shouts to
things
those, yeah.
things like that, I think, is the number one thing I would say here is that you learn from the internet and from your peers.
Yeah.
Is a hard is it kind of sucks thinking like you want someone to actually train you, but sometimes, especially in a new career, like you have to. People say fake it until you make it, but I guess it's just like you have to train yourself sometimes, especially nowadays, and it sucks,
Yeah,
but part of the thing.
yeah, there's sort of an idea of like maybe imposter syndrome is kind of what I'm looking for, where you go into a job, like this person here is a second career person. They're like, I was a teacher, I was teaching, and now I'm in recruiting and marketing. I might not, I might like it, but I don't necessarily have that institutional knowledge built up over a degree or
Hmm.
college or whatever. So you're kind of in this world, sink or swim, and you look to somebody to help you through that, uh, looking up to a mentor or something like that. Now, Randy makes a good point. There's resources all over the place as far as looking online, YouTube, and but I think intrinsically motivating yourself without there's kind of two different things here. I'm starting to feel disillusioned and because I don't have a direction. So you're almost looking less for a mentor and more for um like not criticism, but you're looking for responsibility. And you're looking for your boss to give you more of that, which it sounds like they are more on the operational revenue side and just sort of expecting you to like go be you and figure it out. So you're not. I don't think you're looking for a mentor as much as you're looking for direct like KPIs or goals or something like that. And I think the easiest way is to go to this boss or this person and just saying like you say we meet sporadically. Well, kind of on you to say, "Hey, I want more FaceTime with you here because we need to discuss not just what I'm doing wrong or not how I'm not meeting your goals for me, but we need to discuss a path to get there." And they may not be a recruiter or marketing person, but you need to know things you have to hit or lay out a plan for yourself because you can't really improve. There's nothing to improve on unless you have a plan. And so if this person's just like you're recruiting, we need more leads, we need more high quality candidates. Like it's kind of on you to take that step to get more face time with that person to see what they are looking for from you versus being told, "Oh, you're not doing well," and then be like kind of wallowing in the why.
Yeah, that was my pretty much my second piece of advice
Yeah.
outside of colleagues was, especially, I mean, you're kind of moving from education to corporate, so there's like a big change there too. But I think people young in their career don't like understand the concept that you can call a meeting. Like I
Yeah,
know
you
that
need to manage up.
yeah, like your person above you, you say that like they clearly don't have time and stuff, all that, but like you need to like go up to them and say, "Hey, I want to schedule a meeting with you to discuss these things," and like then you guys compare your schedules and you'll be able to figure out.
Right.
Like it's something that just being young in your career, you don't think you have the like I don't know what's the word here, like
The-
you're not allowed to do that. Like you're
yeah.
allowed to do that. Like try to find some time and then like talk about these things in your mind. Like there's multiple times. Will's like my direct guy here that like we're supposed to be like meeting once a week, but sometimes like things go the way. And if we don't meet after a while, it's like, all right, we need to like meet because there's a
Yeah.
lot of issues that are going like untalked about here and stuff. And just kind of it's hard to say that as a subordinate, you need to put your foot down, but like you need to make it very obvious to the person that, hey, we need to meet on this because I'm kind of just like
I'm floating
I'm
here. I'm
yeah,
like
I'm like
I have
I'm
no.
lost. You're lost at sea, and like
Yeah.
you still have the training wheels on because you're new, and like you don't want to like have those training wheels on. That you need to like learn how to ride the bike. I
Yeah.
guess is the way.
And getting a mentor is ideal, and right, like a lot of people have this person they look up to that's been in the field forever, but that's not an option here. But you need a boss. Like you need some sort of you need a path, and that's so you don't just say, "Hey, can we have a meeting?"
Yeah,
Enter, like send.
you need
You know,
clarity
"Hey,
and
can we have a
direction.
meeting on my direction and my outlook here? Not what I'm doing wrong, but what you expect from me. I need a responsibilities meeting. I need." And then maybe you create a process. Like you create that weekly check-in. You create some sort of report that is giving your boss or your superior more insight into what you're doing. You talk to your friends and peers, like Randy said, about how maybe they're faring in a second career world, or what work is working for them from an intrinsic motivation thing. But your intrinsic motivation is going to come from uh, uh, what's the word? Incentive, right? What is your incentive to be intrinsically motivated? Is it going
Mhm.
to be money? Is it going to be a bonus? Is it going to be commission on sales? Like for me, my intrinsic motivation is I want to make more money by selling more ad deals, etc. Right? Like that's how I am intrinsically motivated. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people fans of Washed. I want people to know our brand. But like money is a motivator. So is it that? Is it you want to feel fulfilled at your job? You want to be able to, you want a work life balance that's second to none. So decide what you want for your intrinsic, like what is your incentive to be motivated to get where you want? Is it career advancement? Is it a new job in a new industry that takes from what you're doing now at recruiting? So identify that first. Bring this stuff to a boss or a peer or that kind of person, not a mentor per se, and then chart a course. Like you need chart a course here, and that boss can help do that, and then manage up. Like Randy said, like don't like put on your big boy pants and set some meetings with some goals in those meetings.
Mhm.
Don't just say, "Hey, can we have 30?" Because then the conversation is going to flow all over the place, and you're going to get back to let's. Hey, I want to set a meeting on my path, my
Yeah.
goals, on your KPIs, what you expect from me.
And come
And
prepared with like even write it
yeah,
down, like just and like
oh
hit make sure that you hit every single thing that you want to talk about, and like that's a big thing. And you say that they're preoccupied with operations, all that stuff. Everyone's got to eat. If it's even just a
yeah,
simple like lunch meeting, being like, hey,
hmm
let's both get lunch and like talk about this. Like the guy, well, your boss, your guy, woman, whoever it is, will have will have time. Like even though they're extremely busy, you'll find time at some point.
And if you want to be comfortable during that meeting, Randy,
Well, I feel like recruiting firms. All right, yeah, go ahead. I want to be comfortable in this
yeah.
meeting.
So put on your Muggsy jeans, Randy. Put on your Muggsy jeans because Muggsy makes the most comfortable jeans, chinos, shorts, and joggers ever. Made from buttery soft, patented stretch materials that look stylish but are insanely comfortable, never too baggy, never too tight. They're frankly the best thing to happen to legs since chairs.
That's huge.
Gigantic, honestly. Never in human history have legs been so spoiled by the pure softness and comfort of Mudgy jeans while looking so damn good. The guys at Mudgy have one mission in life: give every guy the confidence to walk blindly into their closet, reach out, and know whatever they pick will have them looking good and feeling feeling even better. You will literally never have to shop anywhere else again. Randy, what's your Mudgy collection looking like currently?
I got a pair of the light blues, and I got a pair of the blacks. I don't know what the light blues are called. I know the blacks called the squid inks.
Nice.
And let me tell you, in this, I the Cool Max, I've yet
Oh,
to got to get to try those yet. I'm sure you
they
have.
are fantastic.
The regular ones too are super comfortable and breathable. That like even these hot 100-degree nights in Austin, like if I'm wearing, usually I still want to wear pants going out. I wear the Mugsies and I'm completely fine. They're so comfortable even like in that terrible heat.
I do the same thing. It's 97 degrees at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night while we're out having some beers. Uh, I don't sweat. They're extremely comfortable. They look great. They're cool. And I have a rule that I use most of the time that I don't wear or I don't wear shorts to bars. I have to wear, if I'm going out, I have to wear either long sleeve shirt and shorts or long pants and short sleeve shirt.
Interesting.
That's my
One thing's
rule.
I didn't know
You'll
that.
notice, and now
You
that I've
wear
told you
long
that,
sleeve shirts with pants though?
only in winter,
Wintertime?
yeah, or fall.
Interesting.
But next
But you
time
never
you'll notice me. If I'm wearing shorts, I have a long shirt on.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
They're also my airplane
Oh,
airplane pants because they're super comfortable and like I get why people don't want to wear shorts on plane stuff, but like usually all there. And to be honest, I they're comfortable, but I didn't realize how comfortable they are compared to different denim because I was like one time just trying different outfits on and trying different colors of pants for my outfit. And I had Mugsies and I went from like Mugsies to a different pair of denim, just it was different color. And wow, just to those two, I was like, this, I did not realize how comfortable this is compared to all the denim.
exactly. They're cool match jeans, like we talked about. They're cool match denim. They're like air conditioners for your legs. They spent years in the lab developing the most breathable jeans ever, designed with lightweight fibers to ensure a cool breeze with every single step. Go from the backyard barbecue to the bar in one swift motion all summer long. So here's the deal. Head to mudgy.com, get 10% off now using code MAIL. That's 10% off some of the most premium jeans, chinos, swimwear, and shorts on the internet. Mudgy also offers free shipping and returns, so there's absolutely no risk in giving them a try. Mudgy.com, get 10% off now using code MAIL. Here we go. Hello, mail-in crew. Do you guys have any advice for how to communicate with close family about your alternative life choices? With that, I'm referring to things like not wanting kids, opting for civil union over marriage, and choosing to not climb the corporate ladder, amongst other things. My parents are generally supportive people, but tend to be kind of conservative. I know they would love to see me on the traditional path of being married with kids and a truck parked out front of a suburban home. I've started to realize it's just not for me, and I want to join Salt Lake City's class of pseudo ski bums. You know, the ones ski touring at 5 a.m. on a Tuesday before work and skiing 50 plus days despite working full time. Happy to hear your thoughts, Randy. You want to be a knight in shining armor, I believe, if you had it your way.
That takes a lot of training, Brett.
It does. Alternative life choices, Randy. We've sort of made some of our own in joining a startup with like 5 people at it, um, opting for less, I guess, financial security over the idea that we can work for a brand and build it into something bigger, right?
It's true.
How does were your folks the kinds of folks that were like, we want you to go into, selling insurance and have a stable job for 40 years and then retire and that kind of thing? Or were they, how were they more accepting as far as your life choices?
I'm pretty accepting and like supportive of anything I wanted to do. And but like I wonder if that's just because I'm the baby of the family. Like I look at my 2 older brothers and like they're engineers, they like have very good engineering jobs and all that. But that also might have been just what they wanted to do and like be successful people in that field. But like we were always, I think, kind of guided in the path of like all right, you go to high school, then you go to college, and then you
Mhm.
get a job, and like you do like a good job that you got because of your college degree, and like he's 401k, house, kids, all that, and pretty much that's still kind of like the life that I want to live. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell that I know people of that older generation have trouble, like, and this is any generation with a generation
Yeah,
younger
there's a
than them, that they
generational gap.
have a trouble like understanding how different lifestyle it is. Like the first time my cousin decided to have a small wedding, he was the first of all of like the cousins to be like, no, we're not, we're just gonna have like very small wedding.
Sure.
The aunts and uncles were not happy about it. I'm like, like as like a cousin, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure, you just don't want to spend the money and all that, but it like was a big whatever. So I understand that people in the older generations have like this idea of what their kids want to be, and it is kind of hard talking to them.
Well, I think an older generation, especially like a more conservative, generation, I think they equate success with that white picket fence, suburban home, truck out front, kids, wife kind of thing. I think our generation, sort of millennial on,
Gen Y.
Gen Y, if you will, we see that as a path that doesn't necessarily equate to success, right?
Hmm.
Success is more of what we define versus what a societal generation defines. Like parents, call it mid 50s to mid 70s are like house, own a home, uh, have kids, have the suburban home, have the extremely stable job, and the alternative stuff is threat to that success versus a generation like us sees some alternative style or life choices as maybe not success per se, but more fulfilling than chasing after that success dream of an older generation, much like being a pseudo ski bum, not wanting kids, civil union. Like the civil union marriage thing, I think there's a degree of, there's a religious undercurrent there that I think some people may reject their parents' religious choices or adherence to something like that. So I get that. Um,
So,
and I don't want to comment on civil union versus like I don't
yeah.
have I want to get married. I love the idea of marriage. I love the covenant of marriage. I'm in on that. So I can't really speak to that per se. But from a not wanting kids perspective, not choosing to climb the corporate ladder, that's totally fine. Like you're your own person. I think what your parents are going to want more than anything, and they'll get past the initial shock and the initial idea. Like they want you to be doing something productive. Now, I feel like that's almost like a loaded term. When I say do something productive, that can mean having a stable job, and that can mean having a bunch of kids, and that can mean making good money, and your wife makes good money, or your partner makes good money, and like that's productive. But as long as you're doing, like you said, the pseudo ski bum idea, ski touring at 5 a.m. on a Tuesday, 50 days a year is productive in that it fulfills you mentally, it fulfills you physically. Your lifestyle is going to be more enriched. You're going to meet people from that. You're going to and basically live a life productive enough to have a plan for your future. Some sort of thing you're building to, goals and what do you want to be? And that can kind of go into explaining to your parents, like, I don't want this traditional idea of success. My idea of success is this. I'm going to meet somebody ski touring. We're going to have a civil union. We're not going to have kids. We're going to tour, we're going to explore the world, and we're going to hit 100 countries before I die.
Yeah.
Or we're going to open a ski school or something like that. We have this idea of success or productivity that it's different than yours, but I still am working towards something. I have this ambition that's just a different kind of ambition, or at least a differently
Ha-
placed ambition than what your idea of it is.
Having a plan, I think, is what like parents, like you said, this is their plan. They always
Right.
had that plan. That's what they saw for you do. But like as long as you're not just kind of, just going with the flow and doing whatever, but like if you have a plan to say like this is how I imagine my life going,
Yeah.
then I think that's easier to like go in with knowing and being able to explain to them what it is. They might still be confused and not understand, but I think in reality, a parent just wants their child to be happy and successful. So as long as they know that you are headed in that direction, that this is what's going to make you happy, this is what's going to, and it's going to make you successful, then
Yeah.
it's something that will quell their worries.
Right. I think they want you to be happy. One, they want you to not suffer, not be in pain. They want you to be healthy and happy. Two, as a second priority, they want you to be secure, stable.
They want to know
They
when they're
want
gone that you're going to be okay.
they want to know that you're going to have no problem on your own putting food on your plate. Now, if they're financing this lifestyle,
Yeah. Then I can
that's
see
different,
that's
right?
a harder ask.
That's a harder ask. That's a harder, like, if they're financing your alternative life choices that they already are hesitant on to begin with, that's more of an issue, because then then you don't have a plan. Then you're just doing stuff because it's fun, and you don't have this, like, when they're gone, you don't have a backup plan, which is probably part of their reason for being hesitant on alternative life choices. If you're financing this yourself and you're saying, "Hey, I wanna ski, I wanna work this kind of alternative thing, I can still be full," as long as you have a means of putting food on your plate and they don't have to worry about that, and you're happy doing it, start there. Just say, "Hey, here's my plan." And my plan may be I wanna ski, I want to hang with my friends, or some sort of, like, structure in this alternative lifestyle, and tell them that, like, that's my success. And maybe what do you dream about? What are you ambitious about? Like, as long as you have some sort of, like, working towards something. It can be a totally alternative lifestyle. I wanna be the best I wanna be the best plant dad. I wanna own the most plants. I wanna have a green, like, showing them some sort of ambition in your alternative lifestyle choices is is all they can ask for, right? Like, just say, "Hey, my idea of where I'm at in 20 years looks different than where you guys want it
Yeah.
to be, as far as from your idea of success. But my idea of success is this, and here's what I'm doing to work towards that."
Yeah, the thing is that the whole way that they think is that's a proven path. It works. That's why like they think that it's a safe thing. And to be honest, with this thing and what Brett and I have both been doing in our life, we took a lot of risk on.
Yeah.
And I know like even though I'm pretty established in this company now, and like when I first moved down here, I was just working at Jimmy John's, and like I have a friend that lives in Denver that's doing stuff, and both of our parents are very boomer parents and say this. Mom just goes, well, you can always move back if you want to.
Yeah.
It's like they're just concerned about your well-being. And so I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm doing quite well, I'm doing quite successful, I'm not going to move back. I'm like, well, okay, just honey, I just want to let you know that's okay.
Exactly. Speaking of plants, Randy mentioned these guys initially. I'm gonna mention them now. We're talking fast-growing trees. Breathe some life into your own backyard with fastgrowingtrees.com this spring. From shade to fresh fruit to privacy and natural beauty, let fastgrowingtrees.com help you plant your dream garden with their expert advice and fast, reliable shipping. Fastgrowingtrees.com plant experts curate thousands of easy-to-grow plant, shrub, and tree varieties for your unique climate. Meyer lemons to evergreens and everything in between. Happy plants, happy home, right? But sometimes it's hard to know which plants will do best. No problem, because with fastgrowingtrees.com, you get customized recommendations based on your specific needs. Plus, their plant experts are always available to help keep your plants growing healthy through the season and beyond. No more waiting in long lines and hauling heavy plants around with fastgrowingtrees.com. You order online, your plants arrive at your door in just a few days. Randy, when you got on fastgrowingtrees.com for the first time, did you have an idea of what you wanted, or did you let the plant experts decide for you?
Kind of let the plant experts decide for me. Going back to what you just said, very underrated that it goes right to your door. From I live right by the Home Depot, but
True, you can
just
literally
having
stone's throw.
I live on the third floor, no elevators, and having to carry up all the stuff that I've had to before. No, fast growing trees just delivered straight to my door, and all I had to do was bring it inside and put these in. Was phenomenal. What was your question?
Did you know what you
Oh
wanted
yeah.
going in?
I know I just wanted some houseplants. I kind of wanted like I'm a tropical guy. I love the heat and stuff. Kind of want a palm. But the biggest thing for me is my roommate has a dog. So I was just like, all right. And they're very good about having a plant friendly section on the website. So I was like, all right, let's just go to the plant,
Yeah. Hey, this is
the dog
non-toxic to
friendly.
dogs.
And
Yeah.
so I just chose from there,
Boom.
and it was great.
I got a lime tree going because I want to make margaritas.
That's my biggest problem with fast growing trees is that I don't have a yard. I want to have a
Mm.
whole orchard out there, and I would just love to be having fruit trees all over the place. But maybe down the road when I have a house, I'll head up for fast growing trees for all that. But right now, just an apartment.
Grow an orchard in your backyard with Randy and Fast Growing Trees and join 1.5 million happy Fast Growing Trees customers. Go to fastgrowingtrees.com/mail-in now to get 15% off your entire order. Get 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com/mail-in. All right, Randy, here we go. First, this is a little callback here. Thank you for your kind and thoughtful words about my dad's second divorce. You're welcome. Everyone I ask is in agreement that I can maintain a healthy relationship with my stepfamily as long as they're willing. Totally agree. And I've already reached back out to some of them with great results. Now, on to some fresh trauma and a new question. Yikes.
So I remember that question. You guys gave good advice on
Thank
that
you.
one.
About 2 weeks ago, one of my closest friends in town sent what I interpret to be a friend breakup text. I've never had a friend breakup before. She said she wants a relationship to only be professional from now on. For example, we work for the same organization, although she's moving to part-time soon. The kicker, her wife-to-be is a closer friend of mine who doesn't know the exact wording of the text I received and wants to continue being friends. We've all visited each other's homes, given each other birthday presents, gone out to eat, etc. So this was more than just a work bestie situation. I guess I just try to stay friends with the partner that still wants to be friends. This is uncharted territory. Oh, also, we volunteered to photograph their engagement and wedding ceremony because I'm a hobbyist photographer and offered since we've shot a wedding before. I guess that's out the door now, huh? Any advice appreciated?
Are they still invited to the wedding? I don't know. This is
It's kind of
yikes.
you're right. It's a very much a yikes situation. And it sounds like the other person in this situation who sent the friend breakup text has like read a book or something on like cutting, whether it's toxic people or you don't have enough time for people, like cutting people out of their life. I need to know what this text says. Is it sort of like a let you down easy? Is it
I would
like
have
a
liked to have seen the text.
there's missing context here that I'm like, is there what do you think the reason for this is? Is it something to do with the partner here? Is there a jealousy thing involved? Is there a toxicity thing? So we need context here. But my initial reaction to this is, and we can kind of wrap this up relatively quickly, is you need to communicate with this friend who is
The wife to
breaking up
be.
with you.
Oh
No,
no.
I think you need to communicate with the partner as well and tell them exactly what happened. You need to communicate with a partner on this and be like, what's the reasoning behind this? I go directly to the friend that just broke up with you and say like, hey, can we get a coffee? Can we get a drink? You need to do something here to lay out like why the reason for this is she wants to be professional from now on. And maybe it's a job thing. Are you getting
But she's going to part time, so
yeah,
it's weird that they're saying, "Hey, let's just be professional friends." As I'm about to take a step back from this job and only be part time.
right. And I don't really I get like a breaking up with a friend for reasons, but you need to know those reasons, and that sort of informs you moving forward on how to act. And you can ask her all the questions that you asked us,
But
and just said, "Hey, what do you want us to do about our wedding? Like, what do you want us to do about your partner? What do you want to like? We need to know you. There needs to be some sort of communication here on moving forward, so that you're not just in your head constantly thinking about what's the problems have been here."
Interesting. I see. I don't like this advice I'm about to give, but I'm going to give it. Um, I'd almost like want to get a drink with the closer friend of theirs and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like they said that they don't know the text, and clearly it sounds like you're going behind the person's back to like there, but you're clearly closer to this person. Like,
Yeah.
you might just need to show them the text and be like, did we do something wrong? Like, did I do something wrong? Is there something going on here? Like, and then try to figure out and get maybe more clarity from that person since you're closer with them. But yeah, there you have to talk to someone in this of the two of them and figure out what's going on because
Yeah.
it just seems. I had a old manager back in the day who he would like talk. We would just talk about life, and him and his wife like at one point were like watching another couple's kids, and like the mom didn't like what someone said about like that the kid was being watched by them. Like it made it seem like they were putting a burden on the couple that was like watching them. And like
Mhm.
it was complete miscommunication, and like the person like blew up and like we're not like going to be friends or anything. And the guy was like, "Whoa, like we didn't like do anything wrong. It just your kid was over and someone like came over and said, 'Hey, do you need help?' And we're like, 'Oh no, we're all good,' making it
Yeah.
seem like it was a burden to have it on there. And like it just became into this big thing that was miscommunication and all that, and turned into like those really good couples, friends, just completely just stopped talking to each other from simple miscommunication. So there could be something that like you said in passing or whatever that they took completely wrong and that you just need to like figure out and have, you know what, Brett, when it comes down to it at the mail-in, communication.
Communication, that can solve a lot of problems. You need to get to the bottom of this, get more clarity on the situation
So
before
go,
you make decisions and
yeah.
before you say, well, we can't photograph your wedding. Like, we need more context here. Maybe we can help you with this once you do have more context.
Since
But,
you clearly follow up, you like to
dude,
follow
because
up. Either tell us if you went with Brett, where you went directly to the person that broke up with you, or went with me and go to
which,
the person
to be
behind the
fair,
back.
I think you
and
should
go
talk
another
to
friend.
both. I think they like, even if they're breaking up with you as a friend, they owe you some sort of closure or explanation here. Like that you can't just say, I hate you, Randy. I'm never talking to you again. And
Thank
just do it.
God.
Like it's
Oh, that was hypothetical.
Let's do the next one, Randy. Recently, one of my friends made a post about a brother having quintuplets. Yes, that is 5 kids at once. They started a GoFundMe, and I get it. Kids are expensive. 5 at one time is nuts. But here's the thing. I know their dad is a physician, a surgeon, in fact. My friend is also an MD. They take a lot of international trips, and it seems like the family could support them. Knowing this, how do we feel about the GoFundMe? I'm truly on the fence. Am I the asshole for even raising this question in my mind? Love you guys. Thanks. Kids are expensive, but
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I think you're kind of the asshole for questioning this a little bit. You can't like know people's financial situations.
that is what I was going to say. My big but was you don't know somebody's financial situation, regardless of whether they're blowing it on international trips or not. Like you can't, don't judge somebody for raising money for having quintuplet. That's a lot of children, and I get the family seems to be able to support it. I get that they're a doctor, so they can seem like they can support it,
and they might be.
And they might be able to. It's just, I think that what I do here is I throw $25 their way and kind of say,
I think
you're welcome.
having
and-
one kid nowadays is a
Yeah.
super expensive. 5 is ridiculous. And just because this dad and your friend are successful in the medical field doesn't mean that like they should just completely support their sibling and son. Like,
Yeah, they're
if
going to
my
support
brother-
them with time and energy, but not necessarily like your brother's not going to send you $100,000 to raise your child initially, right? Like that. I don't know. It's a tricky one in that I get where you're coming from, and on the surface level, it feels like, oh, like they're fine, they're doctors. But on a human level and an empathy level, it's like, hey, chip in a little bit if you want to. You don't even need to. You can just, hey, that's great. Congrats for having kids. They don't know your financial situation. So you say, well, I can't really afford to pitch in this month. You know, I get you're having 5 kids, but I'm
And
going to go on my own
You're
way.
making a lot of assumptions here. You're assuming that the dad and your friend aren't supporting them at all. Like
Mhm.
just because they're taking international. If my brother, like I love my family. If my brother had like 5 kids right now, what I'm just supposed to cancel my vacations because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something going like I still am going to support him and like help him out and stuff. But like I'm not gonna throw away my whole life because of something like that, but I'm gonna help out still. It's just to just assume that, oh, this is relies on the whole family. I mean, it's not like we're living in villages anymore.
We are not living in
So I
villages.
I get I get where your thing is, but to kind of like I'm saying, coming off an asshole, like you're shaming them for doing a GoFundMe when you expect their family to like
And they
do
also
everything for them is it just they need as much help as possible, and they're clearly probably they can't only get supported by their dad and their friend. Like
so
it's just that quintuplets is hard.
they take a lot of international trips. I don't think they chose to have 5 kids at once. So even if they were you can take a bunch of international trips and they were like, all right, well we're gonna have 1 kid,
No, I
and now
think
you have 5.
I'm saying the internet, from what I'm reading this, the antecedent here is they take a lot of international trips. I thought that meant the dad and his friend did, not the actual family that just had
No,
the
I think
quintuplets.
it's the my brother, my friend is also yeah.
Definition
One
strange
of my
fact.
friends made a post about
Yeah, my
one of the
friend is
friend's brother.
yeah, my friend is also
Okay.
indeed. They take a lot of international trips. So I think they're
I
saying that
see.
like their friend is taking a lot of national trips and their dad is taking trips, but not the actual family that
And
had the
right,
thing of 5.
yes, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
because
right. You're right. You're right.
if this family that's putting the GoFundMe up is like taking a bunch of frivolous vacations,
I
at
see.
that point I could be like, yeah, that's
That's
ridiculous that they're going to go on these vacations and not spend their money
that
on
was
their
where my
children.
hesitation was.
Yeah, okay. If that is what it is, then I do take back a little bit about what I said, but it's kind of hard here. Like back
Yeah.
in Brett and Randy radio, we'd be able to get clarity on something like this. But
Yes.
the they there, I think refers to the family that they think that should be supporting
Yeah.
this
I see.
new family.
I got you. I got you. I misread the question too. So in that case, I don't think you're donate if you want. I think they're going to be okay, but it's also one of those things where they probably plan to have 1 kid and they have 5 now,
Yeah.
and that's I can't even like. How do you even have 5 kids?
But
at
I
once?
get the intrusive thoughts of
Yeah.
being like, oh, like these people should be
They have
able
2
to,
doctors in their family.
yeah,
They'll be
they should be
fine.
able
But
to
like,
afford it. Like, why?
what
Why?
is the
Are
societal?
they like abandoning their
Yeah.
new 5 grandchildren and stuff?
Yeah.
So I get what you're thinking, and it's probably just a little thought that went into your mind and stuff. But I don't know, just help them out.
It doesn't sound like this person's even friends with them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
think you just kind of. I think they're just more like, is this weird?
it's just their friends. It's their friend's
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
So I certainly I wouldn't like shame your friend into like
No,
helping
no,
out more. I'm sure they are probably helping.
You can send them some AG1
Yeah,
if you
that
really
could help.
want to. AG1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it every day, Randy. Every day.
Every day.
1 scoop, cup of water, shake it up, bada bing, bada boom. Drink AG1 in the morning because it's a way to set my intention to borrow from yoga for the day. I'm going to have some sort of clean, healthy body, mind betterment routine.
Honestly, doing something that's really beneficial and good for you right in the morning is just such a good way to start the day.
Exactly. Exactly. It delivers comprehensive nutrients for whole body health. It replaces your multivitamin, probiotic, and more in one simple drinkable habit. It's great bang for my buck, as well as it replaces a lot of other supplements like vitamins, minerals, pre-probiotics for my gut health, adaptogens. It's just a blend of extremely quality ingredients and nutritious things to put in your water. And you get a lot of stuff that I wouldn't normally get in 1 scoop of AG1. Better energy, better focus, improved digestion, mental clarity, and better sleep, Randy, to be honest with you. So here's the deal. Just 1 daily serving gives you the comprehensive foundational nutrition you need and supports energy, focus, strength, and clarity with 75 high-quality vitamins, probiotics, and whole food sourced super ingredients. 1 scoop, cup of water, down the hatch. If you're looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, try AG1 and get 5 free AG1 travel packs, plus a free year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/mailin. That's drinkag1.com/mailin. Randy, I have the last question for you here.
Let's do it.
Hey, Brett and Randy, question for y'all. What should you do with bridesmaids or groomsmen gifts from friends' weddings? I've been a bridesmaid in a handful of weddings, which means that I now have a collection of random items with my name on them that I don't really use and don't really want, but also feel a little bad getting rid of them because they're gifts from friends. What have y'all done with personalized gifts from weddings? Feels wrong to toss perfectly good water bottles, tote bags, etc., but would it be weird to donate items with a name on them? I don't know. What do you think?
Just throw them in a drawer. Put them in your closet.
That's what I do is with personalized stuff, like monogram stuff from weddings, or I have like some Yetis that are, have my initials on them from groomsmen gifts, and tote bags and bottles of whiskey with my name on it, like stuff like that. I think you don't overthink it. Find a place for them, and eventually you're gonna move, and you're gonna be like, all right, this is a tossable thing. Oh yeah, they got lost in the move. I don't know what happened to them. That's what you do here.
Yeah, if you need a declutter, I mean, you shouldn't feel too bad about it. So if it's something you don't need, it's like at the end of the day, it's cool having stuff like with your initials or whatever on them. But like, if it's just getting in your way, then you shouldn't feel too bad about it. Don't toss them. Donate them, of course. Yeah,
right.
I would say. But
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Do you have a groomsmen gift that you've been given that's like your favorite?
Probably I got like a decanter whiskey set.
Ooh.
It was pretty nice one, and just sits on my my bar cart right now. It has some Crown Royal Black in it too, but like that was like a pretty cool one.
Yeah, for a groomsmen gift, that's great.
Yeah.
I've gotten Yeti, I've gotten bottles of whiskey, I've gotten similar not monogrammed. What's the just carved out like whiskey tumblers kind of thing. I've gotten a golf, like a shoe bag, like for your golf shoes to carry around in with my.
Yeah, I've gotten like a little 6-pack cooler, gotten some Yetis, gotten like a cigar like holder, some cufflinks, stop kit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cufflinks, big one.
Yeah, socks
Pins,
and stuff. I mean,
socks.
Yeah. The thing is like that dop kit that I have just kind of sits in a cabinet because like I already have a pretty good dop kit that I own and stuff. But it's like nice to have that secondary one. Just maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's also a good way. Like they kind of mentioned here, it's random items and shit. But I do like looking at groomsmen gifts I've received over the last couple of years and thinking for a second about that wedding or that day or that guy that I've been friends with forever. Like it is a nice reminder, and maybe that's like leads to you being a what's it called? Like when you like
a hoarder?
A hoarder. Yeah. Maybe that mindset in connecting or personalizing, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like giving life to inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Is how you become more sentimental.
I'm very sentimental
Me
about
too.
stuff. Like there's just like a towel or a spatula that I like took from back in my childhood home that I still have in my apartment. It's like throwing this away is gonna be like
100%.
Like weird. Like I remember making learning how to make eggs with this spatula and stuff. But the weird thing about bridesmaids, I don't know about bridesmaids gifts.
I feel like they get bridesmaids. There's like 9 different gift exchange periods.
Groomsmen's gifts are all like usually formal stuff. And I'm not really like doing formal stuff like cufflinks and like cigar stuff and all that. Like not really doing that often. So they only sit in there, and like I only use them at other weddings. And usually at those weddings, I'm getting a different groomsmen's gift. So it's like really weird that like it's for formal events usually for me.
If you were a groom today, what would your groomsman gift be to your boys?
That's a great question.
I feel like you have a lot of friends that would be like, you would have like 10 groomsmen.
I'll tell you what, my roommate, he stood up at one of his firefighter buddies. They all got Damascus steel daggers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's right up your alley.
And like, I was like, you know what would be cool? I think I've seen like a TikTok of
honestly
of like giving swords to all you groomsmen.
Swords would be sick. Like a saber, like kind of the curved sword.
I saw one guy like they were all, I think they were doing like a D&D session. Like he came out from the room, like the groom to his best man, like told him to get on a knee and like he knighted him and like knighted him the best man in front of it and like gave him the sword. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That is so up your alley. It
That
is ridiculous.
So yeah, I think I would give my boys swords.
You would give your boys swords. It would be because it would be cool because you would like engrave them or encase them. It'd probably be like tough for your boy to bring home on a plane.
Yeah.
But you could give that to them and then be like, here, give them back. We're gonna send them to you.
I would give my best man a sword, and I give the rest of the groomsmen matching daggers.
Interesting.
That
okay.
Just because it's probably a little less expensive.
You would have yeah. You gotta have your best man open a champagne bottle with a sword.
Yeah. What about you? What would you do?
I've always had
Pizza
like
stones.
Anybody wants a pizza stone? No, I always thought it would be cool to give like a really nice putter to my groomsmen.
Interesting.
So like a Scotty Cameron putter, for example, extremely expensive. Like this is pie in the sky shit. I'm not serious here, but like it would be cool to put some sort of like you can customize the back of them and put like a little name or one word sort of message on them. And I think it'd be cool to basically attach a one word memory to each of my potential groomsmen.
Ooh, that's nice.
And give them a putter.
I like that just in general too. Instead of just putting their name, something like that, attaching some type of like just a funny word that I think that everyone would know.
Yeah, a funny word
or like
nickname or phrase. Yeah, it could be any of those. But I think that idea sticks with me. And maybe a putter is wrong, but I like this. I really like the sword idea. Actually, I thought it was funny at first, but I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's something they can mount.
It's your squad. It's your
go.
Legion.
That's going to do it for us in the Mail In Podcast. Randy, do you have any shower thoughts before we bounce?
I do. I have a couple of shower thoughts. Here, I have two shower thoughts that I can go with here. I'm going to let you a little choose your own adventure here. Brett's breaking news. Would you rather have movies or baths?
Oh, let's go baths.
Baths. Why did men stop taking baths? It seems like they're like a stigma of like I started taking baths and they're phenomenal, but at some point it turned into a feminine thing that guys didn't do. Baths used to be reserved for kings.
It's true.
Like why aren't guys taking more baths? That's a bad thought about it in the shower.
I think it kind of boils down to why do guys take shorter showers? I think it's more of like a time thing. Guys sort of we get bored. We're simple creatures, Randy.
That's true.
And like we don't want to read in baths. We don't want to like light the candles, and I do.
Yeah,
I'm down for a bubble bath.
I know people that do
candles,
take baths, but it just seems like the majority of men aren't just sitting there and just relaxing.
We can sit, and it's like, why do girls like you? Hey, you've watched the Sports Center 4 times in a row. I'm like, yeah, I know, and I'm going to continue to do it. There's just like a sort of a leisure activity that like, why do you do that? I'm like, just because.
Yes, that's true.
So I think baths are just, I don't know where they became feminine. I think guys just are more of a shower and get on with it kind of creature. But I don't know. That's a good shower thought. Yeah, a good bath thought.
I think back in the olden times, all these peasants out there working the field in their slop, and they have the king in there in their nice bath.
You have like the Middle Ages and medieval times like on your mind 90% of the day, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I'm supposed to be starting a D&D campaign, and I haven't done it all. So fantasy's great, and just fantasy is always in that time. So
it is. I don't necessarily have a shower thought today. I am driving to Dallas later today.
Ooh.
And back the same day. It's going to be a long. My commute is long. I did not know
that
today.
You were doing that.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were driving. What, you driving back tonight?
Yeah, because I have a tea time tomorrow at 7:45 for Klein's wedding, of which I'm a groomsman. Shouts to Klein getting married this week.
What did he get you?
I don't know.
Gift?
I guess I will find out.
That's a weird thing about groomsmen gifts. I never understand when you're supposed to get them. Like I've gotten them when I was asked to be a groomsman, and then I've also gotten them like at the rehearsal dinner and stuff too. It's just I never, it's weird.
Mine have always been either at the rehearsal dinner or in the like the groom's suite, like getting ready for the wedding. That's when I guess I got the other couple.
Those are my, I would say 3. I've gotten them when I've been asked, and then at the rehearsal dinner, and then when we're getting ready in the hotel.
There you go.
So I guess it's just those are, if you're ever wondering, those are the 3 times I give them to people.
My only shower thought is on the road trip. I don't know what road trip snack I'm gonna do. Usually, I am some sort of Chex Mix guy and like a vitamin water. That's been my go-to combos, for example,
I was
are
gonna
good.
say, weirdly, combos are
Yeah.
the perfect road trip, and they're my airplane snack. Pizza combos are I have every single flight.
Mine are weirdly at the airport. I am like a Cheez-It, like a loaded Cheez-It guy.
Mhm.
You know, like they load up the flavor, um, plus a bag of crispy M&Ms
Nice. Oh,
and
they
a
brought
water.
them back. Like
The
they were
green,
gone for a
the light
while.
green bag.
They were
Yeah,
gone for a while, and they brought them back. I think combos. I feel like no one's just getting them to just eat at home. I think the reason that they're such a good traveling snack is because they don't give you residue. They give you
very.
the
You know
cheese.
what?
They give
Very
you the
true.
cheesiness without the residue,
And that residue is important in a road trip situation.
especially
That's
on a
why.
flight too. Like you don't want like your hands all
Yeah,
that. I think that's why I feel like the majority of people eat combos while traveling.
we cracked the code.
There it is.
No residue. That's going to do it for us in the mail-in. Please subscribe, rate 5 stars, review, and tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That is 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Randy, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and even YouTube probably at Randy Trembacki. Very simple.
Or perhaps a D&D campaign.
Maybe one day we'll start a podcast here for D&D.
Wow.
Who knows?
I am Brett Merriman at Schmerriman on both Twitter and Instagram. We are a Mail-In Podcast at Mail-In Podcast on both those platforms, and we'll see y'all next week.